Hello dear friends, today we will see various forms of energy and the law of conservation of energy. Today's topic is completely the illustrative and explanation point of view. Now in different sections of this chapter we have discussed mechanical energy. We have seen that it can be classified into two distinct categories. First, based on the motion, namely kinetic energy, and the second, that is on the configuration or on the basis of position, namely potential energy. Now energy comes in many of a forms which transforms from one another in way which may not often be clear to us. So there are so many ways, there are so many forms of energy that are continuously converting from one to another, and sometimes we are not even think over that, or we can even not know that what are the forms of energy that we are experiencing. Now first, out of this we are viewing the energy that is called heat energy. So what is this heat energy? It is very simple topic and it consists a simple term. We generally use the word heat or the heat energy in our routine life, but actually we don't know that what the heat is and how it is used as one form of energy. So let's consider it, how we can use it and what are the form of it. We have seen that the frictional force is not a conservative force. However, work is associated with the force of friction, and suppose we consider that one block is lying on one surface. Now suppose this surface is not smooth. So if the block of mass m lying on the surface, and when it is moving with initial velocity v0, and after some time when it covers around a distance say x0, it stops due to the friction that is produced inside it. We can say that friction is opposite to the motion. So we can say that it will stop after some distance and experience the frictional force. We can say that F frictional is equals to, that is in opposite direction, and we can write it as a minus F. Now the work done during this process can be calculated by the simple example, that is W is equals to minus F into x0 as per as the equation of the work done. Now we also know from the work energy theorem that initial work or the initial energy is as 1/2 m v0 square, and it can be compared with this fx0. Negative sign here shows the opposite type of force or opposite direction. So now when we compare this, here we confine our scope to the mechanics. We should say that the kinetic energy of the block is lost due to the frictional force. On examination of block and the table, so if we use this surface, when find it, we find that here slight increase in their temperature. The work done by friction is not actually lost but is transferred as a heat energy. This raises the internal energy of the block and the table. In winter, in order to feel warm, we generate heat by vigorously rubbing our palms together. Now we will we will see this in later in internal energies associated with the ceaseless, often random motion of molecules. A quantitative idea of the transfer of heat energy is obtained by noting that 1 kilogram of water 1 kilogram of water releases about 42,000 joule energy, about 42,000 joule energy when it cools by, when the temperature is decreased and it cools by, we say that about 10 degree Celsius temperature down. So this is very simply understood the form of energy that is called heat. Hello dear friends, now we will see that how the chemical energy is explained. Now we can say one of the greatest technical achievement of mankind occurred when we discover how to ignite and control fire. We learned to rub two flint stones together, got them to heat up and to ignite a heap of dry leaves. So the mechanical energy is now converted into chemical energy here, which then provided sustained warmth. A matchstick ignites into a bright flame when struck against a specially prepared chemical surface. The lighted matchstick, when applied to a firecracker, result in a spectacular display of sound and light. Chemical energy arises from the fact that the molecules participating in the chemical reaction have different building energies. A stable chemical compound has less energy than the separated parts. A chemical reaction is basically an arrangement of atoms. If the total energy of the reactants is more than the products of the reaction, heat is released and the reaction is said to be an exothermic reaction. If the reverse is true, heat is absorbed and the reaction is called endothermic. Coal consists of carbon and a kilogram of it when burnt releases about 3 into 10 to the power 7 joule of energy. Now we can understand that chemical energy is associated with the forces that gives rise to the stability of substances. These forces bind atoms into molecules, molecules into polymeric chains, etc. The chemical energy arising from the combustion of coal, cooking gas, wood and petroleum is indispensable to our daily existence. So we can explain that how the chemical energy is used. Now dear friends, we will see the third form of energy, that is called electrical energy. Now this will you understand and study later on in future, but right now we will give a glimpse of it. So here we can explain that the flow of electrical current causes bulbs to glow, fans to rotate and bells to ring. There are laws governing the attraction and repulsion of charges and currents, which we shall learn later, that I have explained you in standard 12. There are so many chapters related to that. Now energy is associated with an electric current. An urban Indian household consumes about 200 joule of energy per second on an average. So this is the explanation regarding electrical energy. Now and in the last we will learn now that is what is nuclear energy. So to understand it, we first explain that equivalence of mass and energy. So first we say till the end of the 19th century, physicists believe that in every physical and chemical process, the mass of an isolated system is conserved. Matter might change in phase, that is, Glacial ice could melt into a gushing stream, but matter is neither created nor destroyed. Albert Einstein, however, showed that mass and energy are equivalent and are related by the relation E is equals to mc square. So it is very well known and very popular equation of physics, that is E equals to mc square, that was explained by Einstein, and this E equals to mc square is the basic behind that equivalence of mass and energy. Here c is speed of light in vacuum, which is about 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and general, if we go with the mass as 1 kilogram, then how much energy will be produced? So we can say that if a 1 kilogram of matter is given and we have to produce the energy in the form, we can say that it will be 1 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 and the square, that will be about 9 into 10 to the power 16 joule. So this is equivalent to the annual electrical output of a large power generating station, which is having about 3000 megawatt power generation. So this is the equivalence of mass and energy. Now we will explain that how nuclear energy can be explained. So how the nuclear energy is associated, we will see that what is the basic behind this nuclear energy. The most destructive weapons made by men, the fission and fusion bombs, are manifestations of the above equivalence of mass and energy. On the other hand, the explanation of the life nourishing energy output of the sun is also based on the above equation. So the equation, that is E equals to mc square, is behind all these things. That in this case, defective 4 light hydrogen nuclei fuses to form a helium nucleus whose mass is less than the sum of the mass of the reactants. This mass difference, called mass defect delta m, is surface energy, that is delta mc square. Now in fission, a heavily nucleus like uranium 92 U235 is split by a neutron into a lighter nuclei. Once again, the final mass is less than the initial mass, and the mass difference translates into energy, which can be tapped to provide electrical energy, as in nuclear power plants, or it is called controlled nuclear fission, or can be employed in making nuclear weapons, which are called uncontrolled nuclear fission. Now strictly, the energy delta E releases is chemical reaction can also be released or can also be related to the mass defect delta m is equals to delta E upon c square. However, for a chemical reaction, this mass defect is much smaller than the nuclear reaction. In textbook page number 127, we are provided one table in which there is a list some total energies of a variety of events and phenomena. So here they have given on page number 127 table number 6.3, which has a title approximate energy associated with various phenomena. So it is also worth watching, worth observed. Now here, now we will see a new topic, that is principle of conservation of energy. So what is the principle of conservation of energy? So here we will learn the topic first and we will explain that We have seen that the total mechanical energy of the system is conserved if the force during the work on the it are conservative. So we can say that if F is conservative, then E mechanical or E total is conserved. That means in the conservative force, the total work or the total energy remains constant. If some one of the forces involved are non-conservative, part of the mechanical energy may get transferred into other forms such as heat, light and sound. However, the total energy of an isolated system does not change. This is the statement. And as long as one accounts for all forms of energy, energy may be transferred from one form to another, but the total energy of isolated system remains constant. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. So that E or energy conservation law is very clear that whatever will happen, the total energy remains as it is. So energy can neither be created and it cannot be destroyed, but one form of energy can be converted into the another form of energy, and that is true. Since the universe as a whole may be viewed as an isolated system, the total energy of the universe is constant. If one part of the universe loses energy, another part must gain an equal amount of energy. The principle of conservation of energy cannot be proved because it is directly accepted due to it consists so many factors, parameters, so each one cannot be explained wholly. Now, however, no violation of this principle has been observed. The concept of conservation and transformation of energy into various forms links together various branches of physics, chemistry, and life sciences. It provides a unifying, enduring element in our scientific pursuits. From engineering point of view, all electronic communication and mechanical devices rely on some forms of energy transformation. So this is about the principle of conservation of energy, and it can be explained in this manner. Suppose one more thing that we can explain here, that is the example number 6.10 of your textbook. That illustration number 6.10 states something interesting. It states that from the table, the energy required to break one bond of DNA in electron volt, that is asked. Now electron volt is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule energy, and from the table given in the textbook we can see that the energy required to break the bond in DNA. So for the energy or the DNA energy is about 10 to the power minus 20 joule. So about 10 to the power minus 20 joule is the energy that is in the last row, energy to the break bond in a DNA. Now we convert it into electron volt. So we can say that the 10 raised to minus 20 joule of energy is there, and it can be converted with this big 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule as in electron volt. We can say this will comes to be 0.0 6 into 10 to the power no power, because this is the term. So this is 0.06, but it will convert it into now electron volt, and that is the term of energy required to break the one bond in DNA is equals to 0.06 electron volt. And here this 0.1 electron volt means how much energy? So as we have seen that 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So this is the form of the energy that we have used over here to explain. Then second question they have asked that the kinetic energy of an air molecule. So again we have to convert it into electron volt. So to convert it into electron volt, what we will do, we will just divide it again with 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19th of joule. So for kinetic energy of air molecule, it is given that it is 10 to the power minus 21 joule, and when it is divided with 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, it will give us about 0.00625 electron volt. So this will be about 6.2 milli electron volt. So this is second thing. And now the third question that they have asked, that the daily intake of a human adult kilocalories. So now it is given that a human using 10 to the power 7 joule of energy in a routine, if we want to divide it into calorie, we have to divide it with 4.2 into 10 to the power 3 joules per kilocalorie. So that will be from about 2400 kilocalorie. So this is the another form of energy that we can have. So here we have converted one form of energy into the another form of energy, and we have observed that how they are explained.